Alright, so we're going to play the next game in the series, Scream Thy Name Betrayer. This was written and read by me, Alex Dalliance, and the music by Vulture Culture, my band. This game contains mature language and themes, so if that's not your thing, please fuck the right off out of this video. And if anybody's playing the drinking game along with us, cheers. We've died twice in Dysnomia and twice in She Cried. So that's pretty good. That's not that many deaths, actually. I thought we were going to die like 9 times in She Cried. Alright, let's begin. Wake up. Massive hangover. Look at the clock, 4:43 p.m. It must be a Thursday. I need ibuprofen. I walk to the bathroom, set a mental reminder to clean the blood off the floor. Look at myself in the mirror, I'm getting old. I open the mirror and take the pills, hang my head in the sink and drink. The water tastes sweet on my cracked lips. The skull is throbbing. Nausea. I walk to the bathroom. Hey, Ernie. I need to do laundry. These clothes will do. I spot the vodka bottle on the floor. Alright, so we've got a choice already, guys. Do we drink the vodka, or do we get dressed? Drink the vodka. It tastes cheap. I'm questioning my motives. Now I get dressed. Black V-neck and skinny jeans. Misanthrope default. Check myself in the mirror. This floor model would still sell above Kelly Blue Book. I walk into my living room. Sunlight peeks around the curtains. A note on the kitchen counter. Call Danny. I search my living room for my phone, but no dice. I check my bedroom for the phone. I need to clean. How did it end up under the bed? Pour out the vodka before I get any ideas. Let's call Danny. The phone rings. Hello? Danny's croaking voice. What's up? It's all good, man. Listen, you still trying to get rid of that cotton? Danny asks. Yeah. How much? 50. Alright. When can you drop by? Sorry, I don't have a car right now. Baby girl at work. Shit. How many do you want? 4? Okay, yeah, I'll come over. Hang up. Filth. 2 hundo is 2 hundo. Guess I'll go. So let's get the drugs. I keep a stash in a boot in my closet. I get 4 pills, I'm running low. Let's leave the apartment. My eyes burn in the Florida sunlight. Indistinct figures move around their lawns. About to get in my car when someone steps in front of me. You sad sack of shit! Melvin Wright, douchebag of the neighborhood. What do you want, Melvin? I keep seeing all sorts of weird degenerate types hanging around your place at night, passed out in the parking lot, fucking by the dumpsters. There are kids in this neighborhood, fucking kids! Yeah, I have friends. So what? So I'm gonna call the cops on your ass if this keeps happening. It's not fucking safe around here anymore, and I'm pretty sure the cops could find something worth reporting in your apartment. Will you please shut up? I need to get to a Mother's Day card from Publix. He spits on the hot concrete in front of me. I don't give a fuck whether you live or die, he says, then walks back to his apartment, mail in hand. Let's drive to Publix. I get in the car, turn the key. The tank's empty, won't turn over. I get out of the car. Fuck. Walk to Wright's apartment. He's still got one of those sprinkler attachments hooked up to his garden hose. Flowers still look dehydrated. He actually has a lawn flamingo. Probably the last Floridian to own one. Does he have a wife? Could anybody live with him? I look at his car. It's a shitty, old, wannabe rich bitch BMW. Walk back to my apartment. Alright, so there's a bunch of things I can do here. I'm gonna go ahead and do them since there's no bells to ring in this game. Let's watch some TV. I sit down on the couch and turn the TV on. One of those cheesy 80s horror movies. If I didn't have anything to do, I could watch this shit all day. I look at the bookshelf. Spook Country by William Gibson. God Is Not Great by Christopher Hitchens. The Lurking Fear by H.P. Lovecraft. I look at the table. Gray plaid tablecloth. My laptop. Cold jasmine green tea in a porcelain cup. Let's look at the laptop. Close out the Pornhub tabs. Check notifications. Mostly people liking my new profile picture. Let's go into the kitchen. I'm vaguely hungry. A kitchen knife sits on the counter. Why don't we pick that up? Might be useful. Let's check the refrigerator. Half a Publix sub and an empty water jug. Let's take the refrigerator contents. The sub's pretty good, even though the bread's soggy. Have an idea of what to fill the jug with. Let's walk to the living room. And let's walk to the bedroom. The fuck station. Alright, nothing in there. Alright, and we can leave the apartment now. And let's go back over to Wright's apartment. Let's go see what Melvin's got. Let's cut his garden hose with the kitchen knife. Cut a couple of feet. Water pouring out of the remaining hose into the grass. And let's look at his BMW. And let's use the garden hose and the jug with the BMW here. Pop his gas lid open, slide the garden hose into the gas tank, wrap my lips around and suck. Caustic fluid enters my mouth, and coughing, I put the hose into the jug and siphon that motherfucker's gas. Alright guys, we can either siphon the gas directly into our car, or we can stop and urinate in the guy's car before we do that. It's up to you. Do we take the high path or the low path? So we're, Gaetano, we're gonna urinate. Have a great drive to work in the morning, fucko. We're good to go in my car now, so we head over to Publix. I feel the eyes of strangers on me as I enter the grocery store. Walk to the card aisle, pick up the first card in the first row, contemplate snacks for later, pay and leave. Drive to Danny's. I pull up to his place, call him as I walk up. Here. Alright. He opens the door. The place looks like shit. I show him the pills. 200. I thought they were 40 bucks each. Give him the look. Whatever, yeah, I got it. Why are you always so hostile? I'm not. He disappears, then returns with the cash broken up in random denominations. Thanks. Yeah. Leave this shithole and drive home. I open my door. I'm exhausted. Screaming headache. Walk to my bedroom. Lay down. Try to sleep. My phone's ringing. Look at the clock. It's 11:29 p.m. Look at the phone. Tonya Morris. Hey, babe. Hey, what's going on? Just woke up. What do you mean, what's going on? I thought we were going out tonight. Shit. Oh, fuck, is it already? Oh, shit, babe. I am so sorry. It's okay. You're just waking up now? Yeah, babe. I think I got the flu or something. Oh, I was thinking about getting laid, but if you're not feeling well, that's fine. I imagine her lavender hair bobbing up and down in my lap. No, I'm definitely feeling better after all that rest. I'm fucking great. Want to come over? I got work in the morning, so if you wouldn't mind. Yeah, okay, babe. Yeah, I'll be over soon. Love you. Love you too. I don't love her. Get in my car and drive over. I'm low on gas again already. Stop at a gas station, pick up cigarettes. Drive to Tonya's. Fuck hard. Leave. Smoke a cig with the windows down on the drive home, breathing in the night air. Back in my apartment, I'm restless. The alcohol itch is upon me. Take a little sip here. I leave the apartment. Checkpoint! So this game has checkpoints, unlike She Cried Against Ringling Hand. So if we die, we can kind of come back to here. Walk out of the neighborhood. County Line Road, edge of civilization. On the north side of the road is unfettered scrubland, hot, humid, and dark. Take a stroll over to the marina. Walk past the no trespassing sign and the tiki bars. Stroll down to the docks, pause by the fish cleaning station, and admire the fish carcasses in the water. Covet the sport fishers and mini yachts. Weigh the risk versus reward of stealing one. Something glints under in the water under the dock. I pick it up. It's strange, and it's made of pitch black metal. Fits in my palm, angular, like a piece of a 3D puzzle. I walk back to the front of the neighborhood and then, to 7-Eleven. Arbitrary wildlife scurries into trees as I walk back to the Tequesta Hills sign in front of my neighborhood. Yellowed lights pour out of the windows of the rundown building. I step inside. Hey, Mike, I say. Beady eyes stare back at me from behind the register. Hello? His voice nasal and awkward. I assess the beer selection. I grab a 6-pack of Fat Tire. Walk to the register. That's it? Mike asks me. Yeah, that's it. That'll be $1,233. I hand him $13 and walk out. Commotion in the trees behind the building. A flashlight app on my phone. Hello? A hoarse voice. Yeah? Who's that? Who are you? A vagabond emerges from the depths, his face scarred and smudged with dirt. I know you. You don't know me. He squints as he draws nearer. Vince Rain. How do you know my name, fucker? You're not from around here, are you, kid? What are you talking about? Laughing, he retreats into the shadows. He wanted me to tell you that he will not be trapped for long, Vince. Gutter fucking crazy. Walk away. Walk back to my apartment, open the door, pop a bottle, throw the rest in the fridge. Suddenly I feel a pain in my chest, and I catch myself from falling with the kitchen counter. Smoke everywhere. I can't breathe, my eyes are burning. Beer falls to the floor and I'm right behind it. Paralyzed, I watch beer and blood mix on the tile. Blue lights flash in the smoke. Everything is quaking, suffocating. Whispers. My vision is too blurry to make out the figures that walk through my living room. I can't scream. Garbled sound, like a voice made of static coming from my bedroom. I'm blacking out. I force myself to inhale. Finally can breathe. The smoke's gone, lights are gone, silence. I crawl into the corner. There's nothing moving. I check my bedroom. Nothing seems to be out of place. Phone's ringing again. It's Tonya. Hello? Vince? Her voice is pained. Tonya, what's happening? I love you. I want you to know that. Tonya, what the fuck is happening? Vince, you have to remember this. One of the 6 deadly... The phone is breaking up. Hunting. More static. Our world is one of them. Don't trust. Busy signal. Call Tonya back. We're sorry, but you've reached a number that's been disconnected or is no longer in service. If you feel you've reached this recording in error, please check the number and try your call again. I call the police. It's a busy signal. Let's leave the apartment. The lock is jammed. Let's kick down the door. Kick the door as hard as I can, but nothing happens. I check the window. Open the blinds, a wall of concrete behind the window pane. I don't know what to do. Let's leave the apartment again. I have a moment to see a necrotic hand before it digs its nails into my face and all goes black. Before regaining sight, I hear the rustle of wind outside. My eyelids open, vision unfocused. Blurry shapes coalesce into forms. I'm in a bar, dark, sitting alone at a table. Gas lamps cast a dim, emerald glow. Tendrils of smoke hang in the air, undisturbed. Something shifts at the end of the bar. Unmoving, I watch a man emerge from the murk. Hello, he says in a deep voice. Who are you? I'm, Shane. Unkempt black hair falls over sunken eyes, wearing a biker jacket. What's going on? So, yeah, I'm not really the guy to explain that to you. Pulls a key out of his pocket and puts it on the table. This'll get you going in the right direction. His eyebrows raise. Okay, Shane says, hands in the air as he backs away from the table. I'll check up on you, he calls as he exits the bar. I stand up. Looking around, I can see the upholstery is old and brocade, wooden floors and walls. Dust coats every surface. Not much here except for a bottle of vintage bourbon labeled Quagmire sitting on the bar and a wooden cabinet leaning against the back wall. Alright guys, so who do we have in the chat who's drinking with me? Alright, so we're going to start with, we'll get one in for Ryan first. So here's a shot for Ryan. Rub dust off the label, 95 proof. Swig it. Surprisingly metal. Another swig. A third. I'm ready now. I open the cabinet. The cabinet's locked, unfortunately, though. I try the key Shane gave me, but no dice. Drink bourbon again. Daddy could use another round. It burns, but in that comforting way. Alright, so we're gonna leave the bar. It's a starless night. Total silence except for the low rustle of wind. Heavy fog drifts down the street. A street lamp illuminates a building with a sign reading apothecary in a weak viridian glow. There is a chapel and a path leading into the woods that surrounds the town. The sign in front of the bar I just left reads, The Moody Gray, oldest dark bar in the south. Another building further away. We're gonna go to the chapel. Candles flicker, an eerie green light glimmering the walls. The pews and tile floor are destroyed, dirt and grime everywhere. Behind an altar there's a fallen depiction of Jesus on the cross in pieces. I inspect the crucifix. There's an old purse amid the wreckage. Let's look through the purse. Inside there's some prayer beads, a note, and an ornamental key. Picking up the note, I read it. Do not be afraid of what you are about to suffer. I tell you, the devil will put some of you in prison, and you will suffer. I pick up the ornamental key, drop the purse on the ground, leave the chapel. When we enter the apothecary for the fuck of it. Garbage strewn everywhere, broken glass on the floor, empty except for some broken furniture and a gaping hole in the ground. Inspect the hole. Dirt and debris surrounds the 6-foot hole. Might be an old well. Kick a rock in, long time before it hits the ground. I walk down the path into the woods. The canopy chokes off all light. I reach into my pocket for my phone, for the flashlight app, but it's gone. Too dark to continue without a light. Ooh. Returning to town, out of the corner of my eye, I see something big moving towards me from the forest path. I hide in the nearby bushes. Rush off the street into the underbrush, trying to quiet my footsteps as they crunch dry leaves. Peer from the bushes, my heart pounding. A towering form like material shadow walks down the street. It moves in a jerking, unnatural fashion, its body mutated and unbalanced. Difficult to stare at, it seems both there and not there at the same time. Then it vanishes. Try to breathe as quietly as possible, and wait. Nothing happens, so I return to the street. That one got me. I jumped on that one. A street, so we're back in the middle of town here. So let's walk to the building. The roof over the decrepit building has caved in. It was once a home. I try to enter it, but the door is locked. So I walk back to the town center, and then let's walk back into the Moody Gray. And hey, we can keep drinking. So this one's for you, Bucky. Oh, it's empty, unfortunately. Oh, sorry, Bucky. I didn't mean to give you blue balls. Fuck. All right, let's open the cabinet. I put the ornamental key that I found in the chapel into the keyhole and turn, a satisfying unlocking sound. Inside is a lantern and some oil. Let's take that. I fill the lantern with oil, clicking the lighting mechanism. A vivid blue-green flame catches, bathing the bar in a turquoise light. There's no bourbon left, damn it. Still empty. So we can walk down the path now. Unfamiliar trees and undergrowth encroach on the path as I walk. Shadows dance amongst the branches from the turquoise light of the lantern. Noiselessness. A fork in the path. A sign reads Grotto with an arrow pointing left and Lighthouse with an arrow pointing right. I walk to the left towards the grotto. The trees become ever more oppressive as I walk. The path dead ends into a cliff face. Before it looms a massive obsidian obelisk. As I approach, I feel a pressure in my skull and a ringing in my ears. Smooth as glass except for a hollowed out 9-pointed star in its front. Bizarre designs have been carved into the stone wall. Inscrutable hieroglyphics, depictions of executions, and strange 3-armed monstrosities. I head back to where I was and then towards the lighthouse. The path leads to a cliff. A large lighthouse shines a dull viridian light out to sea. I can hear waves in the distance, but looking over the edge I see nothing. No horizon, no ground. Entering the lighthouse, I see that it's filthy. Stairs creak as I walk up them. I'm not convinced of their integrity. At the top of the stairs is a room with a beacon, a table with a cassette player, and a cabinet. Play the cassette. Discordant sounds. Vince! A woman's voice. Noises. Have you grown weary of the landscape yet? I'm waiting for you in another realm. The walls that keep out those that would do you great harm are thin here in Solas. I recommend you do not delay in leaving. A mechanical clicking sound and the tape stops. Opening the cabinet, I find a talisman in the shape of a 9-pointed star. A fetishistic design of an eye with a tongue extending from the pupil is carved into it. Pick it up. And then I'm gonna head back. Oh. As I approach the crossroads, something radiating light moves up ahead. I hide in some bushes nearby. I kill the lantern, walk between the tree trunks and vines and crouch down. A pale figure walks down the path towards me. She wears a wedding dress, stained deep crimson around her stomach. Her veiled face is obscured. A glowing mist envelops her. She moves in slow, irregular strides. Her face turns towards me and she disappears. I relight the lantern and continue to the crossroads. And then to the grotto. I'm going to keep going in that direction. Just a little sip here. And yeah, bust into the bourbon next. Approaching the grotto, I hear a scream, an unnatural sound like static, and I spin around. A colossal monstrosity, its body-like material shadow emerges from the woods behind me. It charges towards me, much faster than would seem possible for its disfigured and asymmetrical body. Its talons hands extended. The path dead ends into a cliff face. Before it looms a massive obsidian obelisk. Alright guys, big choice here. We can use the kitchen knife, we can try to kill this thing with the kitchen knife, or we can just make a dash to the obelisk. Do we think we can make it to the obelisk before it gets us? Kill it a lot. Run, up. Ryan got it first. Okay, so we're gonna run to the obelisk. Running as fast as I can, I hear its heavy footsteps overtaking me. As I try to fit the talisman into the obelisk, a claw wraps around my chest and throws me to the ground. I look up to see it sink its deformed mouth into my chest, and then inconceivable pain as it slurps out my insides. Screaming, I feel it suck out my lungs, then my heart, then all goes black. Game over. Ugh, Ryan. Try again. So we're back at the top of the lighthouse, and we just got the talisman. So we're gonna go back to the crossroads, and we're back to the colossal monstrosity. We didn't lose a lot of time that time. That checkpoint was really close by. So we're gonna use the kitchen knife this time. Drop the lantern, hold on to the knife as the horror falls upon me. Sickening crunch as the blade buries deep into my chest. Chitinous gore sprays me. It lets out a horrid shriek. It retreats, the knife yanked out of my hands. Run to the obelisk, pulling out the talisman. The sound of the knife hitting the ground. I look over the shoulder, see the veins in its gaunt face. I force the talisman into the cavity. My hand on the obelisk is screaming hot as it thrums, and then everything disappears. Grasping, drenched in blood and sweat. Torrential rain floods a courtyard in front of me, falling in sheets off of the roof above. Twisted trees rise out of the stone floor at odd angles. A black fence encircles the courtyard, and beyond that there is nothing at all. Behind me, a large oak door set into the wall. Yeah, I'm not a fast runner either, Ryan. A vast library, bookcases extending to the vaulted ceiling. An ominous chill in the air. We should have made dinner, Case. A gray door with many Byzantine designs on the opposite wall. On the far side of the room, a woman lays on a couch, her hand resting on the brass handle of a phone. Rain hammers the panels of tall windows that look out into the black. "Vince Rain," she says. "How nice to finally meet you in person." I recognize her voice from the tape at the top of the lighthouse. "Who are you?" "My name is Claire." She stands. Red cocktail dress, high cheekbones, raven hair, attitude. "Nice to meet you, Claire. What the hell is going on?" "You're in the Veiled Realms. Every once in a while, someone new falls in, and it's my job to make sure you make it home safely." "Your job? How the fuck do I get the fuck out of here?" "Those that fall into the realms are trapped here until they find their fixation. It's different for everyone. It has something to do with why you fell in the first place." "Fell in?" "They say you find your way across when you have lost all hope. I think it has to do with loneliness. Those who are starved for love are easily led astray. Whatever the reason, you're here and there's only one way out." "How do I find this fixation?" "Follow me." She strides through an oak door. I follow her, not outside, but onto a balcony, overlooking a large parlor, carpeted in maroon velvet. A painting of a violet forest hangs on the wall. Into another room, dim and circular. Several obelisks are here. Some smooth as glass like the one in the grotto, some damaged or broken. One, taller than the rest, radiates a deep vermilion, an aperture on its face. As I look upon it, a searing pain threatens to split my skull. I cover my face and the agony stops, leaving behind a dull ache. Claire seems not to notice. "There's an oracle in Avantis that may help you, but I do not have a gateway there. My sister was trying to reconstruct one in Solace, but I believe she's in Rizal now." Points to an obelisk with an immense amethyst set into its face. "So what exactly am I supposed to do?" "Place your hand on the obelisk and it'll take you there. Rizal is extremely dangerous. The city is locked in perpetual war. Rumor has it she was in the derelict bunkers outside the city." "Okay, then what?" "Adrian knows the back channels to return here, and from here we go to Solas." Points at the obelisk with an emerald set into it. "Wait a second, I'm going to this extremely dangerous place alone?" She smiles. "I cannot be seen by those that lurk in Rizal's shadows. I'll explain more another time." Turns in place, walks to another obelisk, and places her hand on it. Her form is like captured smoke writhing before it fades into nothing. I place my hand on the obelisk Claire used. But nothing happens. I place my hand on the Rizal obelisk instead. Gunshots, city streets. Buildings look like they have been bombed, exposed rebar, collapsed pavement. Snow and ash fall, illuminated by the violet glow of the remaining streetlight. Before me, a stack of bodies, many mutilated beyond recognition. An inhuman cry echoes from not that far away. More gunshots. Kid! Hand on my shoulder. Turn around to see a man breathing heavy, carrying a rifle. Takes a moment to recognize him. Shane? Yeah. Good to see you. What are you doing here? Claire told me you'd be coming. We need to get the fuck off this street. I follow Shane. Run down an alleyway and into a building with a sign that reads packages and shipping. Locks the door behind us. Welcome to Rizal, he laughs. What's going on out there? Stable real estate's hard to come by in the realms. This was once a refuge for humankind, but now only the certifiably insane stick around this shit show. Claire said something about looking for her sister in the derelict bunker outside of town. Dust drifts off the shelves as a concussive boom rattles through the building. Best not hang around here any longer than you have to. I can get you to the city limits, but from there you're on your fucking own, okay? Here, put this on. Pulls a black military coat out of a closet. Take this too. Holds out a hatchet. I take it. Hey, Casey. We hit another checkpoint. Good. It's good. Keep quiet. Stay close. Don't fuck around. Opens the door, running hunched over. Into a street, moving from cover to cover, ducking behind abandoned cars or piles of concrete. Following, it's hard to keep up. Explosions in the distance. Screaming. Silence. Spot movement on the other side of the road. Gone before I could get a good look. Shane's ahead, too far ahead to speak to. Not sure if it was real or I'm seeing things. Alright guys, we got a choice. We can either call out to Shane, or we can stay silent and keep moving. Keep silent. Shout. Gaetano got there first. We're gonna stay silent and keep moving. I try to catch up to Shane. Heavy footsteps in rapid succession behind me. Spin to see something large and deformed bounding towards me. Eyeless, hairless, tumored, it runs on its knuckles, hiding long red nails. The ear-splitting report of a rifle. The grotesque skull explodes, innards painting the snow blue and black. Shane runs to me. We gotta keep moving. I'm sure as hell all of his friends heard that. Moves into the shadows, taking care to quiet its steps. I follow him. I'm unnerved. Sense that we're being followed again, but cannot see anything this time. Shane ducks into a destroyed building and I follow. They're tailing us on the roofs. We need to make it to the metro 3 blocks ahead on the other side of the street, okay? I nod. Back on the street. Look up, I can't see anything. Commotion ahead. What was that? A voice calls out. Shane falls prone behind some rubble 30 feet ahead, exposed to hide behind an overturned car. Something's over there, Roy! The voice calls out. I hear the sound of a gun cocking. The beam of a flashlight crosses past the car, footsteps approaching. Look at Shane. He runs his thumb along the length of his neck. The man steps out in front of the car. We can either yell out to not shoot, the pacifist route, or we can attack the man with our hatchet. Attack! Alright. We attack the man. The gun's leveled at me. Swing the hatchet, hacking off both of his wrists. Gun hits the snow, blood fountaining from the wounds. Screaming. I run, look over to my shoulder to see 3 of those misshapen beasts drop from the side of the building onto him, dragging him to the ground and then consuming him. Shane runs down the entrance to the subway and I follow. Quiet except for our footsteps. Shane drops from the platform onto the tracks, flashlight on. I can't catch my breath, running. Stop, Shane whispers. I freeze. Shit. Blood-curdling roar from a bed ahead, above. A many-armed mass falls from the ceiling, the carapace of its gargantuan body crushing Shane and smothering the flashlight. We can either attack that creature, or we can leave Shane the fuck behind and save ourselves. Alright, so you guys, first one in the chat to say something gets it. Shane's kind of been there for us, so I'm like, maybe we should fucking stay around from him, but on the other hand, is it like worth fucking dying for this guy? Like, we hardly know him. Attack. So we're gonna attack it again. Chop through one of the legs, the mandible on the end biting into Shane's arm. Draw back and bury the hatchet between its many eyes. Another hellish scream from the monster, recoiling. Shane picks up the rifle and flashlight, empties the clip into the thing. Stops moving, legs curling. I cannot hear, my head's excruciating. Shane's running again, and I follow. Reach another platform. Shane looks around before climbing up. Can see that blood soaking his clothing. Thanks. Climb up behind him, exit the subway. It's quieter here. Snowfall's increasing, many buildings reduced to dust. I'm at the edge of the city. This is as far as I go, Shane says, wheezing as he grasps his ribs. He hands me a compass, like the one in Dysnomia, and a flashlight. North by northeast, couple of miles. It's not far, man. Good luck, okay? Clutching aside, he ambles into an alleyway. I'm alone, looking upon the crumbling city, the unending snow, the vast wilderness beyond. I walk north by northeast. It's stinging cold. I should have accessorized with a scarf. The trees are menacing, alien, plowing through several feet of snow. Uneasy quiet. There's an intangible quality to this place. The way that objects blur at the edges, the way distant things fade when they should become sharper. My mind's wandering. What if the bunker's not here? Probably walk right past it in the snow. I don't know what I'm looking for. Time passes, pondering. Am I asleep? Is this all a dream? Or rather the worst nightmare I've ever had? If it is, why bother finding the bunker at all? If I'm in my bed, even if I freeze to death out here, I'll wake up fine. Why take another step? I stop walking, standing still. Why not just wait it out? Just hang out until I wake up. Well, for one thing, it's fucking frigid. I walk to one of the trees, chip off some bark with the hatchet. Strange veins run through the bark, gray sap dripping from where I cut it off. Could I really have dreamt all of this? DMT wasn't this strange, this convincing. This feels more real than life. Miserable and freezing to death. I keep walking. I've been walking too long. I must have missed it. Notice something rust-colored. A door in the snow. I run to it and knock the snow off the corroded walls around it. I open the door, step inside, and close it behind me. It's pitch black. I look around, kicking on that flashlight. Barracks, ruined cots, frozen bodies. Walk closer to them. Frostbite burned their skin to coal. Gray uniforms huddled together for warmth until the last. Further ahead, the floor is scorched. Bones and frostbitten body parts lay strewn about, frozen to the ground. A piece of atramentous metal carved into an angular, enigmatic shape lies in one of their blackened fingers, and I take that enigma. A sickening crunch as the fingers break. I enter the next room. A corpse hangs from a rafter. She's not a soldier, nor frostbitten. Wearing a wool overcoat, she has long blonde hair. She has once been beautiful. Disconcerting to look into her clear, green eyes. Besides her on the table there is a substantial obsidian shard atop a note. On the far side of the room is an obelisk, adorned in strange runes similar to what I've seen before. I read the note and take the shard. Everyone wants to go to heaven, don't they? Me? I think I just prefer some peace and quiet. As I touch the shard, I have an unsettling feeling, like nauseous trepidation. I place my hand on the obelisk. Checkpoint. My back's against the wall, a long, narrow hallway extending in front of me. Fluorescent light, air-conditioned. At the far end, the door. I walk through the door. It's a small room, 6 doors, each labeled. Despera, Dysnomia, Eos, Nil, Untega, Solace. Rotate each knob in turn. All of them are locked except for Nil. I walk into a similar room. 6 doors, all labeled the same way. Despera, Dysnomia, Eos, Nil, Untega, Solace. Check the door I just walked through. It's locked as well. I walk through the Nil door again. It's the same room. Despera, Dysnomia, Eos, Nil, Untega, Solace. Perplexed. And then I remember. And I try the key that Shane gave me in Solace on all the doors. The key only fits on the Solace door. And I walk through it. There's a small room housing an opposite obelisk. Place my hand on it. I'm sitting in the booth of the Moody Gray, my eyes readjusting to the dim emerald glow. I appreciate the familiar humidity and warmth, still shaking off the cold. A note on the table in front of me. Vince, I'm sorry I cannot meet you in person. The noose around my neck is tightening. I can't be seen by anybody right now. I left you away to Avantis. Be very careful. They will try to find me through you. Claire. So, I think we're still out of bourbon. It's still empty. Fuck, I should have programmed like 5 or 6 of these. I should have put a lot more in there. Alright, back out of the bar. And we're going to look around for a bit to try to find this way. So we'll walk down the path. The canopy chokes off all light. It's too dark to continue without a light. So let's return to the street. And then re-enter the Moody Gray and check the cabinet. And inside the cabinet is the lantern, glowing blue-green. Missed you, old buddy. Alright, let's leave the bar and walk down the path to the lighthouse. And let's go up the lighthouse. Same shitty lighthouse as before. Let's try playing the cassette again. Discordant sounds. Worship. A deep voice. Worship me, you whore. No! A female voice. The tape stops. I leave the lighthouse. No! A female voice screams. In front of the lighthouse, she is in a wedding dress, clutching her stomach. Not my baby. Anything but her. She's shaking. What's wrong? Are you okay? Looks at me. Underneath the veil, her face is contorted, squirming tentacles hanging from where her mouth should be. Jesus Christ. He's going to kill her. She holds her bloody belly as if to show me. Who is he? He knows she's all I have left. Falls to her knees crying. You're bleeding. Please, let me help you. What? Oh my God, he's already done it. Inconsolable sobbing, writhing on the ground. Murderer! Approach her. You need medical attention. Maybe we can find some bandages. I don't want to live! She stands. Quiets, looks me in the eyes. Please help me. What do you want me to do? I can't do it myself. Push me off this cliff. Places a cold, wet hand on my neck and looks me in the eyes. If you do this for me, I will reward you greatly. Are we gonna push her off the cliff? Or are we gonna not push her off the cliff? Drop the bitch. Push her off the cliff. Grab her by the shoulders and throw her off the edge. A nauseating crunch and then a splash. Trembling, and I turn around. In the grass before me lies a necklace, the moonstone pendant glowing a soft white. I pick up the necklace. With compassion. I'm alone on the cliff, waves crashing on the shoreline below. I walk to the crossroads, and then to the town, and then into the apothecary. A rope lies coiled on the floor next to the gaping hole in the ground. I inspect the hole. There's a beam nearby I can tie the rope to. I tie the rope to the beam and climb down into the hole. I can't bring the lantern with me. Deep grip, death grip, creep off the edge. This is bullshit. Minutes pass as I climb, pitch black except for the point of blue light far above. Feet touch soggy ground. I can't see, feel around. Metal wall, find a switch. I flick it on. Lightning lights flicker on, casting a jade light on cramped cave walls. Before me towers a black obelisk, a gouge blemishing its perfect surface. I place the obsidian shard I got from the woman in the bunkers in Rizal into the obelisk. The moment the shard slides in, everything is black. Cold, silent. I walk around, no echoes, nothing at all. Now who could you be? A voice in my head. Who are you? Forgive me, but you're in my home. And if you'll not answer me politely, then I will take the answer from you. The abyssal voice says. My heart is pounding. I can tell him my name, or I can say nothing at all. What do you guys think? Silence. I don't say anything. Agony. It's as though a large worm is crawling through my brain. I fall to the featureless ground, writhing. Vince Rain. The pain vanishes. How curious. How curious indeed that of all people you would find your way to me. What do you mean? I've heard a lot about you from someone who would love to see you again. Vince? Tonya? Do not worry, I can assure you she is safe here with me. Sure. You're being lied to, Vince. Oh yeah? By who? The sound of a door opening behind me. Claire Mercier. It was she who broke into your apartment. It was she who drug you here. And now she's using you as a pawn in her schemes. Arms grab me from behind. I can take you back with Tonya safely. Claire will never let you return home alive. Rip backwards, blinding white. Checkpoint! Thrown to the ground, door slammed. Someone with long gray hair drops a heavy iron barricade into place. Boy, you are one lucky motherfucker. Helps me off the ground. My eyes adjust to the muted light. Who are you? I'm Saul Greer, the owner and operator of this fine establishment, Blackheart Slims. waves his hand, indicating the incommodious space. A wooden bar runs the length of the room, lined with black, worn-out stools. The rest of the room is encroached upon by countless trinkets and ornaments hanging from the walls and draped over the furniture. The best and only bar in Atlantis. Now, who are you? My name is Vince Rain. Well, hello there, Vince. Come sit down. I'll get you a drink. Been a while since I've had a customer. He sits behind the bar, pours 2 shots of tequila. I sit and knock back the shot. You're welcome, by the way. His voice is like gravel. Thanks. Where was that you pulled me out of? You were on the very edge of nowhere. When I heard you speaking, I couldn't believe my ears. It had been such a long time since someone tried to use that gateway there. Never did work right. Good thing I decided to come into work today. Anyways, pretty sure you were about to get fucking despoiled by that interloper, he says, laughing. Interloper? That thing you were talking to. Several bagatelles shift on the bar, and I notice the room is not stable. Shoutouts to you, Gotano. I don't know what you mean. Ah, so you're new around these parts. Allow me to elaborate. Think of the realms as sort of like a home away from home. Sure, the decoration's a little different, but this tequila kills the shot. Still tastes like Mexican shit. Refills both of our glasses. Outside of here is nowhere. It's chaos out there, entropy. We used to pay it no mind till we discovered the intrusions. A vast malevolence dwells out there, undefined and incorporeal. His eyes glaze over. The fact that you found... the thing that found you out there, that interloper, is trying to break in. It wants to fabricate itself from your actuality. Actuality? It wants to shove its slimy void cock down your throat and ass fuck your soul, then grow a new body for itself out of your futterized remains. Oh. Anyways, what was that you were saying? What was it saying to you out there? He drinks the tequila, pondering my response. All right, so we have a choice here. We can say, you told me someone is betraying me, lying to me. I said it was her fault. Said it was her fault I ended up in the realms. Or I could kind of just, we could wash over that. We could just say, it's just a bunch of bullshit. I'd say tell him. You told me someone's betraying me, lying to me. It said it was her fault I ended up in the realms in the first place. Strokes his beard. Wouldn't pay it too much mind to what it said. Those conniving scumfuckers love to play head games with you. Never heard of one of them telling the truth. Be careful, though. It's got your number now, so keep your head low. My friend told me about an oracle in Atlantis. Something about her being able to help me find my fixation. The queen outside. His eyes dart to the window. The queen outside? Yeah, haggard, dead-looking cunt bitch she is. Can't find her unless she wants to be found. But then again, you probably already told you how to find her. Stares at me. Well, not really. It's been hard enough just finding you. I see. Downs another shot of tequila. Follow me. Walks from behind the bar and out the unbarricaded door. I follow Saul. As I step outside, I see that the bar is not a building, but a houseboat. It is docked in a bay, moored to a tall rock barrier. Bituminous clouds hang over the riotous sea beyond. Saul points to an opening in the rocks. Through there leads to the Avantian colony. They live in tunnels below the sea, scavenging dead bits of fish and other shit that falls to the seafloor. Weird assholes. They're generally unfriendly to humans and reek of piss. Never heard of one of them eating someone, though. They're fine with me docking here so long as I pay them in exotic libations occasionally. His eyes wander, then snap to me. They have a temple down there. Voodoo shit. I've seen her once before, maybe, talking to someone in that creepy outsider language they speak. That's your best chance of being able to speak with her. Runs inside. Back and hands me a bottle. Give them this whiskey. Been too long since I got them all fucked up on scotch. Leaves me on the porch of the boat. I get off the boat and enter the tunnel. Onto the slick rocks I jump, stabilize. Make my way to the opening. There's a staircase leading deep beneath the rock formation under the surface. Step down the slippery stairs. Orbs hang that cast a dull blue light onto the cave walls. Indiscernible amount of time walking. The interloper's words repeating in my head. Claire will never let you return alive. Reach a steel door. Locked, of course. A voice through an intercom speaking a bizarre, clicking language. I come bearing Scotch whiskey. The door opens. I'm standing in a large cave, blue light cutting through the mist. Strange creatures move about. They look like crabs turned on end, except that their lower torso is legless and undulating. Instead of heads, they have a long extremity protruding from their necks, glowing yellow. About the size of teenagers, they go about their business, ignoring me. Can't you give me the booze, fucker, finally? The voice is high-pitched and garbled sounding. Turned to see one of the things behind me, reaching for the bottle. Hold on a second, you nasty bastard. Who are you? I am Treble, the colony diplomat for Human and Boat with the good hard shit we love. Your English is great. Fuck you, Outlander, fuck. I'm looking for the queen outside. Treble's yellow appendage flashes. Perverted human fucks, I was trying to find something to stick it in. Bet you'd like that dry, gray puss. Can't think about anything but sex. Give me the fucking booze, you'll fuck her finally, and I will point you in the right direction. When you speak, it's fucking painful, Treble. How do I find her? I hand Treble's outstretched flipper the bottle. Gesturing with his yellow face sack, it points to different shanties around the cave. Dash shop, no human drugs though. That's food finders, they clean the ocean floor. That way's the temple to the old gods. Speak to outsiders. Bet fucker like you, church never. Some bullshit shrine that way. Turns and slugs away into a corner, a steel door slamming shut behind him. I walk to the shop. Little more than a wood table leaning against the wall. The invention guarding it waves a fin at the items on the table, a pack of cigarettes, a fish skeleton, an enigmatic piece of black metal, and his other fin holding a pole reminiscent of a cattle prod. How much clinging for the enigma? Cling! And the smokes? Cling! I'm gonna take the cigarettes. As I reach for the cigarettes, the shopkeeper strikes my hand with the pole, an electric shock shooting up my arm. Fuck! Cling! It says, its appendage blinking reproachfully. How about this moonstone necklace I got from the woman in Solace? Takes the moonstone necklace, its face appendage blinking excitedly, flippers me the enigma. I'm gonna walk back to over where Treble was. There is a passage back to the surface in the steel door. I'm gonna knock on the steel door. Treble went in. Knocked 3 times. Hey Treble, I need some help finding this fucking oracle. Ah, fuck! Treble's horrible voice is muted by the door. Open the door and help me, you piece of shit. Suck my dick! Not gonna be helpful. Walk to the shop. The invention guarding it waves a fin at the items on the table. But I don't really have anything else I can trade with her right now. I'm gonna walk to the window. Light from the cave shines through a massive window onto the seafloor as it extends into murky depths. Outside, an invention is picking up debris and putting it in any good bits into a bag. Looking out the window is another invention, a remote control for a TV and its flippers. Hey, what's going on out there? That's Cole. We got a few guys out there now doing a second pass. Food is scarce this time of year, so we try to make sure we don't miss anything before we send them out further where it's more dangerous. It says, its voice easy to understand. What's your name? Blake. Blake, your English is, like, really good. Why aren't you the ambassador to the humans instead of Treble? Take a look out that window. Cole is picking up fish shit, and we're going to eat that shit later. Upper management has utterly fucked this place. I used to eat motherfucking fish steaks on the reg. Now look at us. It's a wonder the colony hasn't collapsed and our species gone fucking extinct. Alright then. Blake returns to staring out the window. I walk over to the shrine. On the table there is a sculpture of an old hag and a candle rests before it. I walk to the temple. Designs and hieroglyphs carved into white rock with streaks of black flint. Reminds me of the cliff face in Solace. A door with no handle is set into the rock. I try to open the door, but it's unmovable. I walk back to the window. Light from the cave shines through the massive window onto the seafloor. Come on, my dude, my life cycle's about to end, Blake mutters. Hey Blake, you wouldn't happen to have any cash I could borrow? I want to borrow some smokes. Yeah, I guess. Blake puts a wet piece of sponge in my hand. Lindsay over there should give you at least one for that. I walk over to the shop. Can I buy cigarettes with this? Cling! Lindsay hands me a cigarette and a lighter. I light a cigarette. Inhale sweet nicotine. Thanks. Cling! Walk over to the shrine. On the table there's a sculpture of an old hag, and a candle rests before it. I light the candle. The candle burns a vivid coquilat, I think is how you say it. Man, this word's my nemesis. I really need to learn how to say it. Still better management than my last cafe. That is fucking hilarious. I'm gonna walk to the temple. And now an open doorway leads into the shadowed corridor that we lit the candle, just like in She Cried. Yeah, I should just say orange. We hit another checkpoint, which is good. sip of beer before I get into this scene. It's silent. Sitting at a table with a gray plaid tablecloth. In front of me, a porcelain teacup full of cold gray tea. I recognize it as my own from back in my house. No walls, no floor, no ceiling. Nothingness. I have a sip of tea. Comforting, the familiar taste of jasmine. Finish the cup and gag. Something stuck in my throat. Choking beat on my solar plexus. With a splurt of blood, I coughed the blockage onto the table. It's a piece of black metal carved into an angular, enigmatic shape. Pick up the enigma off the table. As I stand, something slimy clenches my wrist. Going somewhere? I know she's dead before I lay eyes on her. Her skin is mottled, gray and covered in lesions. Her pupilless yellow eyes glowing in the gloom. Try to wrench my arm from her. Let go! Stumble away as she releases me. Quiet, Rain. You are hunted by less hospitable outsiders than I. Who are you? What are you? This is the fourth time that I have seen you, but this is only the third time that you have seen me. Does not move in her chair, a cadaverous stillness. Matted white hair hangs over her filthy dress. I have brought you before the remembrance that chains you to the realms. Where is it? Her gangrenous finger points behind me. I turn to see an open door. I cannot follow you out there. Careful. One of the six is waiting for you. The rest of the apartment materialized around me, and she is gone. I hear asthmatic breathing outside, and I walk out the door. The bloated flesh convulses, the wounds vivid violet and blue. The body dissected by 4 horizontal lacerations, one across her knees, one across her hips, one across her breasts, and one across her mouth. Barbed wire holds the sections of her body upright, wrapped around a wooden pole. Beyond, the emptiness of nowhere. Vince, come here! The head lolls to the side, lavender hair parting to expose Tonia's slack face, teeth clicking together out of time with her words. An almost impossible step. Hurry! I walk to Tonia. As I approach, her quaking body slows to a tremble. Vince, it's really important that you listen to me. Do not turn around. He is right behind you. We can either look behind us, or we can listen to Tonia and not look behind us. Maybe don't. Okay. We're not going to look behind. We only have a moment left together. It's all the Queen can manage. Reach inside my pocket. Scan her shuddering body for a pocket and find it. Inside's an envelope. I found it for you. Take it. Back away from me and into your apartment. Do not take your eyes off me. Tonia, I'm sorry. Go, Vince! I step backwards. I'm almost back. Vince. Writhing, the barbed wire rips new gashes. Blood streams down her body. I step through the door frame of my apartment. Did you ever love me? Yes or no? Do we tell the truth? She's not looking like she's gonna make it, so maybe we should tell a white lie here? Or maybe we should tell the truth? What do you think, guys? Lie. Okay. Did you ever love me? Yes, of course I did. A sound between a laugh and a cry. You were always a terrible liar, Vince. The door closes and locks, the envelope in my trembling hands. I open it up. Scrawled handwriting on a torn-out page. Today is the worst day of my life. I'm pregnant. I had set up an appointment with the doctor and everything was going fine, and then Daddy called me into the living room right before I went. You have anything to tell me? No, Daddy, I'm just going to the grocery store. Not another word, just beat me. Turn my face into pulp. The doctors had called him. After he was done, he said, You know what God does to murderers? I didn't raise no whore who fucks any guy that'll take her, fucks him and then kills their baby. I didn't raise no back alley slut. He spits in my face and then left me on the floor. I don't know what to do. I can't run away. He'll find me, and then he'll really be mad. My life is ruined. I wish this child would rot inside me. I want to stab it and tear it out. I hate it. I hate it more than anything I've ever hated. A drop of liquid splatters the page. It falls from my hand. A buzzing sound. My cell phone's vibrating on the living room floor. Hello? Vince, it's Shane. Where are you? I look around. Somewhere deeply fucked. There's been a breach. The interloper hunting Claire's gone through. We need you to get to her. Can you meet me in Solace? I don't know how to get there. You are already there. I turn around to see the Queen sitting at the table. Gestures at the door and unlocks on Drifts a bar. Never mind. Yeah, I can meet you there. Careful. There may be other interlopers that have gotten through. Click. The Queen's lips curl in a gruesome smile. Hurry. Claire doesn't have much time left before he finds her. Why are you helping me? She laughs, an asphyxiating sound. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you, Vince. And she disappears. I leave the apartment. Step through the door onto the ruined patio, the familiar rustle of sawlost wind, starless sky. The door locks behind me. Maneuver through the wreckage. I'm in front of the decrepit home in Solace. I walk to the town center. And then down the path. Oh, it's too dark to continue without a light, so I gotta go back into the moody gray. Fucking bottle of bourbon still empty. Inside is a lantern glowing blue inside the cabinet. All reliable. Leave the bar and head down the path. Back to the grotto with the obelisk. Vince, good to see you! Shane, standing by the obelisk, waves to me. His rifle hangs from his shoulder. You too. Walks to him, shaking hands. It's not working, he says, pressing his hand to the obelisk. Let me try. Wait! He knocks my hand away. What? Hold on to me, so if it pulls you through, I come with you. Claire may have coded it to only work for you. I grab his wrist, and now I touch the obelisk. Searing heat on my hand, then everything disappears. Torrential rain falls onto the courtyard and the twisted trees of Despera. Behind me, the large oak door set into the wall. I hope we're not too late. I enter the door. A narrow hallway extends away from us. Lanterns cast a yellowed light on the brocade wallpaper. On the right wall, there is a great jet door. On the far wall, another oak door. Across from the jet door is another painting of the violet forest. No doorknob, 4 strange holes blemish the otherwise smooth surface, and place the enigmas I've been finding throughout this game in the holes. Metallic sounds and the door slides open. Inside the narrow room there is a table with a glass orb. Inside the orb many mechanical pieces rotate, locking and unlocking, radiating a golden aura. Take the glowing orb. Vince, hurry! We don't have much time! Walk through the oak door on the far wall. It's the vast library. Rain hammers the soaring windows. Claire stands by a bookcase, a pile of books on the floor in front of her, an old tome in her hands. Vince, what's going on? Why have you brought someone with you? An interloper has gotten through, the one hunting you. A shadow flickers across her expression. Where's Adrian? Who's this? Look to Shane, then back to Claire. Shane? Your friend? I've never met this man before. What? Shane, tell her what you told me about the interloper. I gesture to Shane, but he's unresponsive. In fact, Claire says, her eyes narrowing, that is no man at all. I look to Shane and his face is slack, unblinking. Shane, what's wrong? Shane's eyes droop, his mouth hanging open. Dead eyes. Claire drops the book and runs to the phone, lifting the receiver to her ear. Shane's body hangs as if from an invisible hook. Tabitha, Claire speaks, we have been deceived by our sister. Alert Serpent House that the scarred man is through. Another is soon to follow, and sets the phone down. Claire, what the fuck is going on? Step back, Vince. She pulls a derringer from her dress and levels it. 2 rounds to Shane's chest. Doesn't move, blood dripping down his shirt. His jaw moves like a marionette's. Good evening, Claire. So nice to finally lay eyes on you. His voice is unrecognizable, abhorrent. I take a step back. Who are you? Claire yells, firing again. Shane's right eye erupts, blood and brains painting the floor behind him. His body remains rigid, unmoved by the bullets. I have longed to taste you, Sojourner. You'll be a fitting mother for me. Claire drops the gun, grasps her throat, looks at me, eyes pleading. Run! Her voice is choked. Black blood starts to drip from her chin. Shane's thrown to the floor. The door we entered through slams shut. Claire's falls to her knees, clawing at her stomach. Claire? You will know thy name, mortal. The horrible voice speaks through Claire. You will scream thy name, betrayer. Immense teeth erupt from her neck to her groin. I run away. In one movement, like a mouth snapping open, Claire is ripped in two, viscera pouring onto the floor in front of me. Claws reach out from her thrashing torso. They pull a slack, alabaster body from the rupture. It seems to unfold, taller and taller, as it stands on trembling legs, towering above me. Its eyeless face is crisscrossed by veins, its blood-red jaw covered in many mouths. I make it to the door and it's locked. All right, guys. Hey, Kay. We can run to Shane's corpse and take the gun. We can run to the gray door with the Byzantine designs, or we can run to the pile of books by Claire's eviscerated corpse. Knowledge is power, so we're going to run to the books. Slurping sounds as he feasts on her remains. I pick up the old tome Claire was reading. The center of the pages are hollowed out. The cavity contains a stone key. His bloodless face turns towards me, the skin viscous. Not one, but many voices speak, high-pitched and weak.
What is this affliction? This craving?
Okay, we can run to the door and use the stone key, or we can run to Shane's corpse and take the gun. Gun! We run to Shane's corpse and take the gun. As I reach Shane's body, my leg gives out, lacerated by one of its claws. Look behind me to see half my leg missing, blood streaming onto the floor.
Baby,
he croons.
You were nothing without me.
Bites through my spinal cord, my body spasming, my vision going white.
Nothing.
Agony followed by cold non-existence. Game over. Ah. Yeah, America, man. You would think. Okay, so we're back here. We're gonna run to the pile of books, and we're gonna get the key from the tome that Claire was reading, and then we'll run to the gray door and use that key. I shove the key into the door.
I agonize, let me nurture you!
The floor shakes as he lunges towards me. Open the door, enter, and spin to lock it. The weight of the behemoth collides with the door with a deafening crack, but the door holds. I search the room. Little more than a closet, the silvery walls covered in designs. On a table in front of me rests a note and an obsidian shard. Piercing scrape as the interloper claws at the door. I take the obsidian shard and read the note. The shard scintillates a deep vermilion in my hand. A wave of nausea washes over me. It's all I can do not to vomit.
Vince, pierce his body with this obelisk shard. Sorry I couldn't stay for the fun.
Claire. Leave the gray room. I'm not in the library, but in the parlor on the balcony overlooking the velvet carpeted room. Where are you? He roars, his many voices much deeper, muffled by the wall separating her. Right here, fucker! Splintering oak explodes into the room below me. He steps forth from the debris, turning to see me.
You are more exquisite than I dreamt you to be. I cannot wait any longer.
He waves his achromatic hand, the door shutting and locking behind me. I jump off the balcony onto the interloper. I kick off the railing, the shard in my hand like a knife. The moment in the air seems to slow down, the monstrosity cocking his head. His great claws wrap around me, slicing deep gouges into my arms, and I stab that fucker with the shard. Bury that shard in his face. The clammy flesh splits around it, wet tissue drenching me, vociferous shrieking. The shard glows crimson. The entirety of the creature turns insubstantial and I fall through the smoke and shadow, cracking many ribs as I hit the ground.
Even you, my darling.
And he is gone. Blinding torment, blood draining onto the velvet carpet, breath weakening, faint. Shapes move, obscured by the fog of near unconsciousness.
God damn it, you don't need hands to stem the bleeding. Just use your flipper thing to press down on the rag.
A voice dulled by swollen eardrums.
Don't tell Timo what to do, supremacist. I was just tasting the rag with my flipper to see if it had bacteria in it. Shut the fuck up, you lazy waste of fish eggs, and help me keep this boy alive. Cling.
Spasming pain as my body is lifted onto something softer than the floor. the steady beat of an electrocardiogram. Eyes open, I can make out an IV pump.
Good morning, sunshine.
Look to my left, Saul sits at the Blackheart Slim's bar, stroking his beard, pours a shot of tequila and walks over to the gurney I'm on.
Drink this, it'll make you feel better.
Holds the glass to my lips, and I drink deeply. Unsure if thinning my blood is the move right now. How'd I get here?
Claire asked me to help you after she'd be gone. Told me there was time to make an appearance. Didn't think I'd find you bleeding out, though. Had to run back to Atlantis and get one of those shitheads to help me out.
You know Claire?
I did. And that bitch really owes me one. How far I've stuck my neck out for you. May her spirit rest in peace.
Pours himself a shot and downs it, his face solemn. And betrayer?
Locked in Syrinx. You sent him to a place worse than hell. He'd be better off dead, but as far as I can tell, those things are fucking immortal.
So what now?
Well, it looks like you found Claire's key.
Saul pulls out the glowing sphere with the golden machinery from inside his pocket, the one that I found because I found all the enigmas throughout the course of this game.
This is about as close as you're going to get to a will.
What do you mean?
I mean, this is the key to Claire's realm. She must have intended for you to find it. If you want to stay in the realms, then it's all yours. That or I can lead you to Eos, the gateway back home. It's your choice.
All right. So, last major choice of the game. We can either stay in the Veiled Realms, or we can go back home. All right, Ryan. It's in your hands, baby. It is tough, isn't it? It's like we've played through 3 games to come to this moment, and now all the responsibility rests on your shoulders. Realms it is. All right. I want to stay in the realms.
All right. When you're feeling up to it, I'll take you there.
My eyelids grow heavy and I fall back asleep. 2 weeks later.
One for the road. To Claire.
We clink glasses and drink tequila. I press the sphere against the obelisk and it radiates a vivid gold.
Don't forget to stop by for a drink sometime.
Hand on the obelisk, and I'm standing in a dark room. It's small and rustic, the floor made of polished marble, the only light coming from the dying embers of a fireplace. I put the glowing orb away. Rain cascades down the windows and look upon the courtyard outside.
Welcome home.
A chill runs through me. Who's there? I turn around to see Claire sitting in a chair by the fireplace, a phone on a table beside her.
Claire, you're alive.
She smiles, twirling a lock of her hair in her fingers.
Not exactly.
It is as though she ages 1,000 years before me, skin graying to leather, eyes rotting and then glowing a sickening yellow. The queen outside sits before me.
I am one of them now.
The voice in my head still sounds like Claire's. I don't understand.
I'm sorry to have lied to you for so long. You couldn't have known my plan, or else you might have caught on to it. For an outsider to cross over into the realms, or from the realms to Earth, they need something like a human soul. Actuality. Death forms a gateway for them to come through. But I've discovered that gateway isn't a one-way road. So while the deceitful one was being born from my body here, I traveled back through the gateway left open to be reborn through his body in the void.
So it was true, what he told me.
What he told you?
That it was you who dragged me into the Veiled Realms that night in my apartment.
Yes. I needed someone he could trick into killing me by bringing that puppet Shane here. I needed it to be convincing. I hope you can forgive me.
I turn and stare out the window at the torrential rain.
But why me and not some other dumb motherfucker? You're no dumb motherfucker, Vince. You are powerful and cunning. There is much more that you will do to shape the events of history. The ruination of Earth is not long in coming. We need your prowess to fight that which lurks just outside our reality.
The ruination?
We will do all we can to delay them, but eventually they will break into our reality, and when they do, they will slaughter every last human on Earth.
The rain stops. I turn to see Claire sitting there, young and beautiful again. What do we do now?
This is your home, but there are many secrets still hidden here, and many gateways to unexplored worlds.
but I would ask one more favor of you before I go. Don't you think you've asked enough of me, Claire? Or the Queen, whoever you are? Another sojourner is soon to fall into the realms, a young woman named Jess. She will be in great danger from the moment she is awakened. Would you help her? What would you have me do? This phone is wired to a phone in Ontario where she will be. A murderous outsider is trapped in that plane, gone insane eons ago. Will you help guide her to her fixation? Fine. There is much you can learn about Ontario in the library. Thank you, Vince. She will be very important in the coming war. We look at each other, her eyes hopeful. I guess this is goodbye. Goodbye, Vince. I'll be seeing you soon in the past. She winks and then she is gone. The rain resumes its downpour. For the first time I notice a door made of ebony, and I walk through it. I'm in the room of many obelisks. A note lies on the table in the center of the circular room, obscuring several objects. I pick it up. Underneath the note is a Jack Daniels flask, a Glock 19 handgun, and a box of condoms. Use protection. Every obelisk is repaired, each radiating a different color, except for the red one, the shard missing. One glowing a deep aquamarine catches my eye. Unexplored worlds. I like the sound of that. I take the items and I touch the aquamarine obelisk. Oh my god. Thank you guys so much. Hey Jesse. We made it all the way through the 3 games. According to this, I've been playing for 3.5 hours. Holy shit, you guys are the best for sitting through this and getting the full experience of the 3. We did it. Fuck yeah. We did it, guys. Oh my god. That was a lot of fun. We survived. We made it through all 3 games. That, 3.5 hours is actually fast. I was kind of thinking that I could beat the first one in about 30 minutes, but actually, the first one took me longer because I had forgotten. And it is a maze. It is... I sympathize for people who played that game because it's hard. It's just hard to make it through... and not lose your track, where have I been, where am I going? Whereas the second 2 games are much more easy to keep, track of where in your head you are. When do we get the next one? The next major thing that's going to kind of follow in this theme of my art is called Bleeding Rain. It's a podcast I'm going to do, again, because I think Gaetano Contini has done a great job of convincing me that although these text adventures are cool, and ultimately I think these games are best played, right? I think it's fun to narrate them and it's a fun thing to do, and I get to kind of add life to some of the characters I've come up with, but there is a element of it, when I'm reading it, where I'm okay, this is a little funky to be reading this, for me anyways. Maybe it's not at all. Maybe it's completely cool, but, as the author of putting it together, being the guy who sits in a room and thinking about how these little puzzles are going to fit together, then just kind of going through it, right? So I think doing a podcast might be a great way to kind of continue the story while still enabling people in a more accessible format, because what I have noticed is there's a bunch of people in the games today that were listening to me do this because they just have trouble sitting down and playing a text adventure, like I do too. I mean, I don't sit around and play text adventures that often because they're kind of you have to sit there and they're they're tedious, and you know, we have such a short attention spans, myself included. I'm not saying that about anybody. So anybody who's ever sat through and played one of these games is amazing, or sat through this play of all of them that we just did. Amazing. But I think a podcast is going to ultimately be more accessible. Thank you guys very much for surviving all, where are we at now? 3 hours and 40 minutes. And yeah, it was really fun to see them all in a row. Like, I had a lot of fun kind of experiencing too. I had a lot of fun, like, playing Dysnomia in a way, because I forgot I was talking about interlopers and shit in that first game. You know, like, it actually felt more cohesive to me than it usually does. I hope you guys enjoyed yourself as much as I did. This was an absolute blast to share with the world. And really thank you guys, because this is what I love. So good night. I love you. Thank you guys so much. I'll be back soon, hopefully. So